back to Sweet the Truth 2.0. We are really on a roll today. We are waiting right now for President Trump to begin his meeting. But while we wait, we want to give you an idea because we have a fabulous show planned for you, and we have one after this at 8:30. And I'm gonna share more about that with you guys later. But President Donald J. Trump takes center stage at the AI Summit in Washington, D.C., where he unveils and signs a series of bold new executive orders focused on artificial intelligence, national innovation, and American security. So we have a president that's really busy. And I can say that this is the first time in my life that I really can say that I'm proud to be an American. So I don't know how you guys feel. We're just waiting for more people to come in and join us. And we're moving into the future. Who would have thought that, like, we weren't even talking as much about AI, artificial intelligence, like we are now? It seemed like the things that we used to watch on TV is coming into fruition. And I am excited. I'm excited about the summit. I'm excited about him signing a series of new bold executive orders that's going to launch us into the future because, as we know, China is doing everything. They are already putting out robots that are actually more realistic than we have seen in the past. It's not like back in the day when you used to watch, different robots on TV or look at some of the intelligence that was there. But so it's almost comical in comparison to now. So now we're going to have more involvement. And the sad part about it, I think that we're going to lose a lot of jobs. Like teachers, I would hate for a human teacher to become obsolete. Some of the things, it seem like the more we move into the future, the more of our humanity that we're going to lose. But it's like there's this great race, like to space. It's like whoever has the top technology is king, the leader of the world. You have to keep up with the rest of the world. So in order for us to be in the game, these are steps that our president is taking us to move forward into the future. Hi, hi, the Mr. Buki. Hi, thank you for coming back. Thank you for everyone that's coming back because we just did a live a little earlier, and we're going to do one after this one, and that I'm extremely excited about. But meanwhile, we want to stay focused on this one. And don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and the notification bell. So when we do go live, you guys are receiving the notices and you're getting all the updates and you're keeping up with us. Because one thing that we realized, I was talking to YouTube yesterday, their help yesterday, and I'm like, well, why aren't our subscribers being notified? We almost have like 27,000, and it was told to me there's only such a like 0.6% have the notification on. So if you don't have it on, please turn it on so that you can be notified. So when we go live, there's no schedule. This way that you will be notified, and hopefully you can work it into your schedule. If you can't, then you can always watch it later because we upload all our videos. But this should begin any moment now. So right now, I hope you guys are enjoying your day. And check out the video that we did earlier with Press Secretary Caroline Levitt. And she also had D&I Tulsi was on there, and it was a phenomenal press conference. Don't miss the press conferences. They covered about the Epstein files. They covered about Obama, and it's like there's almost like a witch hunt. I'm sorry, guys. It's almost like a witch hunt, like they always said about Trump, like they were going after Trump. Well, Trump is kind of petty, so he's going to return the favor, and he's going to make them keep the law as well. So he's coming out now. So the summit is beginning. So they're playing the music. Hi, everyone. God bless you. Trump liked listening to his music and waiting for his lips to move. Oh, there we go.
Thank you very much, everybody. What a great song that is, but we'll cut it a little short because we have some business to discuss. What a group of smart ones we have in front of me today. That's about as good as it comes up here, the brain power, the greatest power of them all, the brain power. Well, I'm thrilled to be here with so many tech leaders and luminaries as we take historic action to reassert the future which belongs to America, always has belonged to America. We just lost sight of it on occasion. And I just want to start by stating that we've just concluded our big trade deal with Japan and numerous other countries in addition, as you know. But on the Japan deal, because it was literally just signed, letter was just signed, it gives us a sort of signing bonus. I'll bring it into sports talk, a signing bonus, like you have signing bonuses too, I understand. Getting a lot of money, 100 million, that's not bad. But that's not as good as the signing bonus we got. We got a $550 billion signing bonus for the country. And we had the tariff at 25%. As you know, we had a tariff at 25%. And these are great people that we negotiated with, but we agreed to reduce it to 15 based on the fact that Japan has agreed for the first time ever to open up its country to trade so that all of our American businesses and business geniuses, including many in this room, can go out and do business openly and freely in Japan, a very rich and prosperous and profitable and wonderful country, frankly. And we will pay a zero tariff as we do business in Japan. So we're paying zero, they're paying 15, we're getting $550 billion. And to be exact, it's 90% of that, but we control the whole lot of it. And it's really been great. And they're very happy, and their stock market went up, and our stock market went up, and that's supposed to be the way it is. Ours went way up, and theirs went up. And we've made numerous other deals like that. But the opening up of a country is very important to us. We have numerous countries that have opened their doors, just made some incredible transactions, but we're going to have a very, very simple tariff for some of the countries. There's so many countries you can't negotiate deals with everyone, so we'll have a straight, simple tariff of anywhere between 15 and 50%. A couple we have 15 because we haven't been getting along with those countries too well, so we just say, let's pay 50, and that's the way it is. But remember, we get countries that were closed, always closed. Everyone in this room would never remember any of them to be open. We've offered such a deal to the European Union, where we're in serious negotiations, and if they agree to open up the union to American businesses, then we will let them pay a lower tariff. So the tariff is very important, but the opening of a country, I think, can be more important if our businesses do the job that they're supposed to be doing. Such openings are worthy of many points in tariffs, and they're a good thing, not only for, as an example, Japan or Europe, but certainly a great thing for America because it allows our businesses to go out and fairly compete and do really well if they compete properly, like the people that I know. Everyone in this room practically I know has competed very successfully. I haven't seen any, and I know the losers just like I know the winners. I tell you, I don't see any of the losers here. But now if some of the countries that pay 25% or more on orders complain, remember that Japan was willing to pay upfront the $550 billion for that privilege of negotiating with the United States of America. We also made a deal yesterday with the Philippines and Indonesia, which in both cases will be opening up their country. And we're in the process of completing our deal with China. And as you know, the UK, we made a deal. It's a very good deal for everybody. Everybody's happy. It's always nice when everybody can be happy. But mostly we'll be charging straight tariffs to most of the rest of the world because we have over 200 countries. People don't realize that's a lot of deals. Even if you're like me, a deal junkie, that's a lot of deals. That would be too much for anybody. Ooh. How did we do with this country that I never heard of?
Whoa.
We got a lot of deals cooking, but America is taking in hundreds of billions of dollars like it never has before. Investments into our country at the highest point ever in history, and we've just really been opened up for business for 3 of the 6 months. The first couple of months, we got ourselves all set, done a great job with our military. As you know, you saw that 2 weeks ago when you saw the way those incredible B-2s flew into Iran and took out an entire nuclear potential deadly force. But I want to thank some of the incredible people that I see before me, including White House AI czar David Sachs. He's been great for organizing this very important summit, and especially for putting it in DC, where it's a little bit easier. I don't know if it's easy for you, but it's a hell of a lot easier for me. Along with his colleagues at the All In podcast, which is very good. I did that podcast a year and a half ago, and I said, this is something, it was pretty new, pretty raw. Everybody I knew saw that podcast. I said, well, he's got something pretty good. Who is that guy? He's a smart guy, by the way. I think if I ever get in, which at the time people were saying I had a shot, not as good a shot as it turned out. We won in numbers that nobody believes. We won every swing state. We won by millions and millions of votes, winning the popular vote. We won with the districts, as they would call them, 2,750 to 505. And that's why the map is almost completely red, except for a couple of little blue areas on each side of it. But it was a great experience, frankly, for me. And hopefully it's a great experience and been a great experience for our country, because they're saying we had the greatest 6 months that a president has ever had, the opening 6 months. And I'm not even sure, maybe 6 months. I'm not sure it's the opening, but let's call it the opening 6 months. It sounds a little bit nicer. I want to also say hello and thank to Chamath and his wonderful wife, Nat. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. It was great seeing you again. Great couple. David Friedberg and even, as we know, Jason Calacanis. I say even. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a good person. Thanks as well to the Hill and Valley Forum and our future Undersecretary of State, Jacob Halberg. Good, stand up, Jason. Good. I met him a year and a half ago, and I was very impressed. I said, let's bring him in. We're bringing a lot of smart people. And David's been unbelievable as the job he's doing. Along with Secretaries Doug Burgum, who's been incredible. Doug? Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Great job. He's producing low-cost energy. We're down to $64. I want to get it down a little bit further if we can. I don't know if the oil companies love that or not, but we want to have very inexpensive electricity so that you can power up the plants, because you need more electricity than any human beings ever in the history of the world. When I heard what you really need, I said, you got to be kidding. Double what we produce right now for everything, right? I don't know, you're gonna, Jensen, you're gonna have to explain that to me someday, why they need so damn much. Could you do with a little bit less? My father always used to say, turn off the lights, son. But you guys are turning up the lights. I want to thank Howard Lutnick for doing a terrific job. He was involved in the big deal that we just completed with Japan. Howard, wherever you are, Howard. Where is Howard? Hi, Howard. Great job you did. Appreciate it. Really, that was an interesting negotiation, wasn't it? These are tough people. These are good negotiators, I will tell you, Japan. But they love their country and they do what's right for their country. I want to thank Chris Wright, if Chris is around. Chris is here because he's helping with the tremendous energy success that we're having. We're having tremendous energy success. We're the biggest. We have more energy than anybody else in the world. Nobody knew that until I came along, but we have more energy than anybody else in the world. we're making incredible deals on energy, including deals in Alaska, where we sort of, that's the mother lode, that's the big one, and we're making deals with various Asian countries that need it, and it's actually hard to believe, you don't think of it, but Asia is very close to Alaska, relatively speaking. It's not the closest, but it is pretty much the closest when it comes to oil and gas and energy, and we're making some incredible deals, and I want to thank Chris. Chris is fantastic, works in partnership really with this gentleman who's the head of all of, you've got the land and he's got the energy, right? But they formed a great partnership, Doug. So that's one of the greatest partnerships I've seen in a long time. They work hand in hand and they have done a great job. Administrators, Kelly Loeffler, I think is here. Kelly, thank you very much. Hi, Kelly. Thank Kelly. And probably the most important man in the room, and I say it in all sincerity, more important than Doug and Chris and all that energy they're producing. He's a man that produces fast permits on the environmental impact statements. He gets them done. I said, Lee, you have 1 week for nuclear.
Wow.
And you have a couple of days for oil and gas, okay, for the approvals. And we kid, but he really is. He's knocking them out fast. He's knocked out a lot. A lot of you guys have started your plants already and you've already had your approvals. So where is Lee Zeldin? Is he here? He is so great. This guy, he is so great. That's why he has a slightly better seat than I gave to Doug, you see? He's doing a fantastic job in a lot of ways, but he's doing a great job and he's getting fast permits and safe and good and everything else, but he's moving them along rapidly, already given some. And one of the most exciting things we'll talk about in a second is the fact that you're going to build your own electric producing plants. So you build whatever you're building, and it's different things, including automobile factories, which are going up all over the place. You'll see them starting soon, where they're moving into our country because of the tariffs, because they don't want to pay the tariffs. They're moving into our country at a record speed. But the ability to build your own electric plant, not having to rely on a 100-year plus old grid. And then if you have electric capacity extra, you're going to sell it into the grid, make some money, but you'll sell it right back into the grid. Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, Michael Kratsios. Michael, thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. As well, it's supposed to be taking a vote right now, a big vote. Senator Ted Cruz. Is Senator Cruz here? Oh, look at my senator. Why aren't you voting? I think we lost David McCormick, who's voting. So is David here? Because you're supposed to be voting, Ted. I don't know. I'll tell you what, this man works hard. Ted works hard and he works good. And a very special thanks to some of the top industry leaders here, including somebody that's amazing. I said, look, we'll break this guy up. This is before I learned the facts of life. I said, we'll break him up. They said, no, sir, it's very hard. I said, why? I said, what percentages of the market does he have? I said, he has 100%. I said, who the hell is he? What's his name? His name is Jensen Huang, NVIDIA. I said, what the hell is NVIDIA? I've never heard of it before. He said, you don't want to know about it, sir. I figured we could go in and we could sort of break him up a little bit, get him a little competition. And I found out it's not easy in that business. I said, supposing we put the greatest minds together and they work hand in hand for a couple of years. He said, no, it would take at least 10 years to catch him if he ran NVIDIA totally incompetently from now on. So I said, all right, let's go on to the next one. And then I got to know Jensen, and now I see why. Jensen, will you stand up? What a job. What a job you've done. Man. Great. He's a great guy, too. Lisa Sue of AMD. Lisa? Thank you. Congratulations. Great job. Sham Sanakar of Palantir. We buy a lot of things from Palantir. Where are you? Are we paying our bills? I think so. We just made a deal with the European Union where they're going to pay the United States of America 100% of the cost of all military equipment. They're going to ship it to the European Union and then they'll distribute it, and much of it will go to Ukraine. It's been a long time since you've heard those words, because we're in for $350 billion, but now we send it to Europe and Europe pays, and they were great. We had a tremendous NATO meeting a few weeks ago, and it was pretty amazing actually what happened. They agreed to go from 2% to 5%, and they had 2% where they didn't pay, they have 5% where they've already paid. That's a big difference. That's trillions of dollars, actually, trillions. But they're going to spend that money in the United States with our defense companies, and we're going to send it to them, and they'll distribute the equipment that we send. So that's the way it should have been 3 years ago, frankly. And Jeff Sprecher, the other half of that incredible family, is he here? Is he here? He's a fantastic guy, international, intercontinental exchange, and he's been a friend of mine for a long time, the husband of Kelly, who's really doing a good job. You are really doing a good job. Small business, which is actually big business if you add it all up, right? Probably the biggest bank there is, but they call it small business, and she's done a fantastic job. Thanks, Kel. Say hello to Jeff. As we gather this afternoon, we're still in the earliest days of one of the most important technological revolutions in the history of the world. Around the globe, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. I find that too. Artificial, I can't stand it. I don't even like the name. You know, I don't like anything that's artificial. So could we straighten that out, please? We should change the name. I actually mean that. I don't like the name artificial anything, because it's not artificial. It's genius. It's pure genius. And its potential to transform every type of human endeavor and domain of human knowledge, from medicine to manufacturing to warfare and national defense. Whether we like it or not, we're suddenly engaged in a fast-paced competition to build and define this groundbreaking technology that will determine so much about the future of civilization itself, because of the genius and creativity of Silicon Valley. And it is incredible genius. Without question, the most brilliant place anywhere on earth. America is the country that started the AI race. And as President of the United States, I'm here today to declare that America is going to win it. We're going to work hard. We're going to win it. Because we will not allow any foreign nation to beat us. Our children will not live on a planet controlled by the algorithms of the adversaries advancing values and interests contrary to our own. We don't want to have contrary interests. We want to get along, and we'll get along with other countries. We're having a great relationship, as I told you, with those countries that we mentioned, with Japan and Indonesia and so many others. The European Union, we're getting along very well with China. A lot of respect for President Xi. We have a great relationship, and we'll see how it all works out. But we're getting along with countries it's really been pretty amazing, I will say that, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. So from this day forward, it'll be a policy of the United States to do whatever it takes to lead the world in artificial intelligence. Such an important thing happening. This is really something that nobody expected. It just popped out of the air, and here we are. But we will defend our nation, our values, our future, and our freedom, and it will be really great. But what we really need to be successful is a very simple phrase called common sense, and that begins with a common sense application of artificial and intellectual property rules. It's so important. You can't be expected to have a successful AI program when every single article, book, or anything else that you've read or studied, you're supposed to pay for. Gee, I read a book, I'm supposed to pay somebody. And you know, we appreciate that, but you just can't do it because it's not doable. And if you're going to try and do that, you're not going to have a successful program. I think most of the people in the room know what I mean. When a person reads a book or an article, you've gained great knowledge. That does not mean that you're violating copyright laws or have to make deals with every content provider. And that's a big thing that you're working on right now, I know, but you just can't do it. China's not doing it, and if you're going to be beating China, and right now we're leading China very substantially in AI, very, very substantially, and nobody's seen the amount of work that's going to be bursting upon the scene, but you have to be able to play by the same set of rules. So when you have something, when you read something, and when it goes into this vast intelligence machine, we'll call it, you cannot expect to every time, every single time say, oh, let's pay this one that much, let's pay this one. It just doesn't work that way. Of course, you can't copy or plagiarize an article, but if you read an article and learn from it, we have to allow AI to use that pool of knowledge without going through the complexity of contract negotiations, of which there would be thousands for every time we use AI. We also have to have a single federal standard, not 50 different states regulating this industry of the future. And some people would say, gee, that's an unpopular thing to say. I was told before I got up here, this is an unpopular thing because some people, they don't want that. But I want you to be successful. And you can't have one state holding you up. You can't have 3 or 4 states holding you up. You can't have a state with standards that are so high that it's going to hold you up. You have to have a federal rule and regulation. Hopefully you have the right guy in this position that's going to supplant the states. If you are operating under 50 different sets of state laws, the most restrictive state of all will be the one that rules. So you could have a state run by a crazy governor, a governor that hates you, a governor that's not smart, or maybe a governor that's very smart, but decides that he doesn't like the industry and he can put you out of business because you're going to have to go to that lowest common denominator. We need one common sense federal standard that supersedes all states, supersedes everybody, so you don't end up in litigation with 43 states at one time. You got to go litigation free. It's the only way. And we also have to watch Europe, Asia, and all foreign countries so that they don't make rules and regulations that likewise make it impossible for you to do business, and where you'd have to make everything in AI cater to them. Because again, you'd have to cater to the toughest country or to the toughest state. You can't do that because it would ruin it. I just terminated all of the, as an example, California car emissions rules, which were a disaster. It cost them just billions of dollars as an industry, but thousands of dollars per car, the emission rule standard, because they were making the production of an automobile almost impossible and at a tremendously higher cost, much more expensive than it should cost, for very little gain, for actually, in my opinion, negative gain. The automobile was worse. Under this administration, our innovation will be unmatched and our capabilities will be unrivaled. And with the help of many of the people in this room, America's ultimate triumph will be absolutely unstoppable. We will be unstoppable as a nation. Again, we're way ahead and we want to stay that way. We can't let individual smaller units stop it, because that's the only thing that can stop it and can really mess it up. As with any such breakthrough, this technology brings the potential for bad as well as for good, for peril as well as for progress. But the daunting power of AI is it's not going to be a reason for retreat from this new frontier. On the contrary, it is the more reason we must ensure it is pioneered first and best. We have to have the best, the first pioneer. We are the best and the first pioneers, and we're going to be really putting a nation that we love, America, we're going to be putting it first. I have an expression, America first, make America great again.
Yeah.
A lot of great expressions, but they're all so true. Make America great again. We're going to make this industry absolutely the top, because right now it's a beautiful baby that's born. We have to grow that baby and let that baby thrive. We can't stop it. We can't stop it with politics. We can't stop it with foolish rules and even stupid rules. At the same time, we want to have rules, but they have to be smart. They have to be brilliant. They have to be more brilliant than even the technology itself. Surely there will be challenges on the path ahead, but together we will meet them and transcend them all. We are Americans, and we are Americans first. I have a couple of people I know that don't happen to be from here, but I wish you a lot of luck anyway. I'm looking at three people that are not Americans, but they're very good people. Please treat them nicely. But we do not shrink from the future or cower in the face of uncertainty. We dominate the future, we conquer new frontiers, and we control our own fate. And we determine, by doing that, our own destiny. Winning this competition will be a test of our capacities unlike anything since the dawn of the space age. I believe that. It's hard to believe as the president, the amount of enthusiasm for this one industry. I mean, I can talk about cars where we're doing incredibly well. We have car companies moving in all the time, but I talk about other industries. Everybody's saying this is going to dominate the world. It's going to dominate every industry that ever conceived. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's true, but I can tell you that a lot of very brilliant people think it is true. It'll dominate everything. It will challenge us to marshal all of our strength and flex the muscles of American ingenuity and resolve like probably never before. It will require us to blast through obsolete systems, cut through thickets of regulation. We've got to get rid of some of the regulation, but we want good regulation and rebuild the industrial bedrock of our country. And perhaps most importantly, winning the AI race will demand a new spirit of patriotism and national loyalty in Silicon Valley and long beyond Silicon Valley. For too long, much of our tech industry pursued a radical globalism that left millions of Americans feeling distrustful and betrayed. And you know that, everybody knows that, everybody in this room certainly does. Many of our largest tech companies have reaped the blessings of American freedom while building their factories in China, hiring workers in India, and slashing profits in Ireland. You know that? All the while dismissing and even censoring their fellow citizens right here at home. Under President Trump, those days are over. We need U.S. technology companies to be all in for America. We want you to put America first. You have to do that. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. To partner with our tech geniuses in achieving this vision today, we're releasing the White House AI Action Plan. Big stuff. We're signing it right after this. In fact, I see it sitting right there. Maybe I should just sign it right now. Who the hell has to make the rest of this speech, right? But here are the pillars of the strategy. First, my administration will use every tool at our disposal to ensure that the United States can build and maintain the largest, most powerful, and most advanced AI infrastructure anywhere on the planet. America needs new data centers, new semiconductor and chip manufacturing facilities, new power plants and transmission lines. And under my leadership, we're going to get that job done, and it's going to be done with certainty and with environmental protection and all of the things that we have to do to get it done properly. Virtually all of these large capital investments can be and should be made by the private sector. And they want to do that. They just want to be able to do it. But for that reason, America must once again be a country where innovators are rewarded with a green light, not strangled with red tape so they can't move, so they can't breathe, and that's not going to happen. You're going to see things that you've never seen in this country before. So often, and I've been watching for many years, I've watched regulation. I've been a victim of regulation. The zone change, it takes 6 years for a building in Manhattan or whatever, but I was good at zone changes, but it took a long time. By the time you got the zoning, the market changed. You didn't want to build the building. You say, well, but in some cases that made you lucky, didn't it? Huh? In some, not too many people understand that in this room, but in some cases, waiting for that approval as the market collapsed was a good thing, not a bad thing. But it's time to reclaim our heritage as a nation of builders, and that's why, upon taking office, I signed a historic executive order directing that every one, and this is so important, for every new regulation, 10 old regulations must be immediately eliminated. So we have old regulations. that clog up the books that don't even mean anything anymore. You know, in my first term, I had more regulation cuts than any president in history times 4, and that included two-term presidents where you're talking about 8 years. We had more than any other president, and I think we may even top it this year. We may very well be able to top it during this period of time, because you are a regulation-prone group, and we're looking to get those regulations out of your way so you can use your genius. Earlier this month, we also enacted the largest tax cuts in American history when I signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into law. And I think the most important thing in the whole tax cut, in terms of pure economics, and I think one of the reasons that my first, we had the most successful economy in history during my first term, and I think this is going to blow it away. So far it is, and I think this is going to blow it away. But the reason we had was I had expensing at 100%. And what we did is we included 100% in this bill, expensing for all capital expenditures, including investments in factories and equipment and structure. Structure wasn't included last time, so even structure, and you're able to write it all off immediately. That's the biggest thing. Not 38 years, not 42 years. You're able to write it all off immediately. And this time we made it for 10 years, not for 1 year. We made it for 10 years, so you have a much longer period, but I'd say get out and take advantage of it. I think that's one of the reasons that we had such an incredible success with the first tax cuts. And one of the things that this bill does is it extends the first tax cuts and makes them permanent. And in addition to that, we were granted other taxes, like no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. A lot of great things. One of the things that I mentioned, not so pertinent here, but if you're in the automobile business, it's pertinent. I said, why is it that people like us always are looking for expenses and deductions, and people that buy automobiles that really have to go out and borrow money to buy a car, why aren't they allowed to deduct the interest on their loan to buy a car from their income tax? And we got it approved. We got it approved. And that is such a big thing. And I think that's going to be such a big thing for the automobile industry. We're going to be making more cars. Within a few years, we're going to be making more cars than we made in the very beginning, in the super prime. We lost almost 50% of our automobile business to Mexico, Canada, and various other places, as you know, in Europe and in Asia. And now we're getting it back. We're getting it back in record numbers. And I think we're going to be topping any amount. In a few years, we'll be making more automobiles than we've ever made in the history of our country, including what I call prime time. My administration is also pursuing a future of all-out American energy dominance. And on day one, I terminated the Green New Scam. You know what that was? You were all victims to it. Perhaps the second or third greatest scam in the history of our country. I would say the first was Russia, Russia, Russia. And we had a couple of others too. But the Green New Scam was one of the greatest. It's so ridiculous what they've made you do. The carbon footprint. They talked about the carbon footprint, and then Obama hops onto a 747 Air Force One and flies to Hawaii to play a round of golf and comes back. What about the carbon footprint? No, we didn't like that. And what Biden has done is absolutely terrible. He made it impossible, almost impossible for people to do business, not even talking about the border, where millions and millions of people flowed into our country, many from prisons, from jails, from gangs, from mental institutions all over the world. No, we're not doing that. We have to get them out. We've got 11,888 murderers, many of them committed more than one murder. Many of them, more than 50%, committed more murders. We're getting them out of our country, or in some cases they're so bad, we're not getting them out. We're having to lock them up because we don't want them ever to come back, no matter how good we're doing. Last month, you probably read, we had 0 people enter our country illegally. And over the last number of years, you'd have hundreds of thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of people a week pour into our country, totally unvetted and unchecked. And what the hell were they thinking? What they've done to our country is so sad, and we can never forget it. But we're unleashing all forms of energy, including natural gas, oil, and clean, beautiful coal. I instructed my people, in the form of Chris and Doug in particular, you are not allowed to say the word coal without saying clean, beautiful in front of it. You can only say clean, beautiful coal. It's a little embarrassing because we had somebody making a speech the other day, right? And he mentioned the word coal about 30 times because that was the subject. And he kept going clean, beautiful. I wanted to say, okay, just take it easy. You could just, got a little bit crazy, right, Doug? But it's, China's using it. They're building now 57 big power plants, all fueled by coal. And we have to compete, we have to win, and we're gonna have clean, beautiful coal, but we have more coal than we have more anything in terms of energy than anybody, oil and gas. We also have more coal. In May, I also signed an executive order to rapidly begin construction of safe, reliable nuclear reactors. That's a big thing now.
Woo-hoo.
And many of you are gonna be using nuclear. You know, I had problems with nuclear, so some of the things, but what they've done with nuclear is like what you've done with AI and other things. It's incredible, actually. It's long-term, it's inexpensive, it's safe. What they've done is really amazing. So we opened up the industry, very strict rules, but we opened up the industry, and some of you are going to choose nuclear over oil and gas or whatever it might be. Under the last year of Biden, China added 11 times as much power generation capacity as did the United States. Can you imagine that 11 times? Under the Trump administration, we will be saying those very famous campaign words, drill baby drill and build baby build, and we will be adding at least as much electric capacity as China. We think we're going to catch them and maybe even have something a little bit extra. They're going very rapidly, but so are we. And we'll be doing at least as much, and every company will be given the right to build their own power plant. So when you build, you can build your power plant with it, and you are essentially going to become your own utility. It's a utility to yourselves. And as I said, any excess energy you're going to sell back to the grid and make plenty of money doing it. As a result of these pro-American policies since my election, we're seeing trillions and trillions of dollars in new investments. So at this moment, we have almost $17 trillion coming into this country. There's never been a period of time like that.
Wow.
And that's in a period of a few months. In a few months, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft are all investing $320 billion or more in data centers and AI infrastructure this year. Those companies are really, they're really going at it, and it's very smart people, very good people. I got to know a lot of them. You know, I didn't like them so much the first term when I was running. I wouldn't say I was thrilled with them, but I've gotten to know them and like them. I think they got to like me, but I think they got to like my policies maybe much more than me. NVIDIA has committed $500 billion over the next 4 years. Thank you, Jensen. I'm sure that'll be a good investment. If you're doing it, it's good. Thank you very much. It's a great statement. Last week I was in Pennsylvania as 20 companies announced $92 billion with David McCormick, Senator, great guy from Pennsylvania. $92 billion in energy and data center projects, including what will soon be the largest natural gas power plant anywhere in North America. They're going to town. It's already under construction, the largest in North America by far. For decades, we had leaders who spent their time focused on building up foreign nations. Under the Trump administration, we are going to have leaders who are going to build up our nation. This colossal investment in AI infrastructure and many other industries, for that matter, such as automobiles and so many other things, will also create thousands and thousands of great paying jobs, the kind of jobs we want, including lots of blue collar jobs. And you know, our numbers are very good right now, but wait till you see these numbers in 2 years from now. It will mean higher wages and more opportunity for millions of energy workers, HVAC technicians, engineers, electricians, and the hardworking citizens who make our country run. These are great people that make our country actually run. To ensure America maintains the world-class infrastructure we need to win today, I will sign a sweeping executive order to fast-track federal permitting, streamline reviews, and do everything possible to expedite construction of all major AI infrastructure projects. And this will be done. You will get so good a service in so many ways, not only from Lee with the environment, but you need many other types of permits, and you're going to go so fast. You're going to say, well, wait a minute, this is too fast. I didn't expect to go this quickly. This is a problem. I may cause a problem in opposite, but including factories, data centers, and power plants of all kinds, the United States will have total industrial and technological supremacy. The second pillar of our action plan for AI dominance is to get the entire world running on the backbone of American technology, and I think that's very much happening right now, and I think it's going to happen. The last administration was obsessed with imposing restrictions on AI, including extreme restrictions on its exports. As you know, they made it very difficult to export. This alienated American partners and drove even our friends into the arms of China and other countries. That's why upon taking office, I repealed the so-called Biden diffusion rule. Can you imagine that? That crippled American AI exports, the Biden diffusion rule. I wonder who came up with that name, because he has no idea what it is. He had no idea what it was. He came up with a rule. I wonder who drew that one. I wonder, was that signed by the Autopen, I think, because they went to him and said, we're going to do a diffusion rule. Mr. President, what? What? It's okay, the Autopen will take care of it. It's one of the greatest scandals in the history of our country, let me tell you. Under my administration, we will maintain necessary protections for our national security, but we will never forget that the greatest threat of all is to forfeit the race and force our partners into rival technology. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Right? Not going to let that happen. That could be the end. When I traveled to the Middle East in May, every leader I met was thrilled to do business with American tech firms and with America. They were all thrilled to meet me, believe it or not. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But they were. By the way, most powerful woman in the world is here today. Susie Wiles, stand up, please. Susie Wiles.
All right.
Chief of Staff. She can take out a country with a mere phone call. No, they just voted her the most powerful woman anywhere in the world. She might be the most powerful person in the world, I think. But she's done a fantastic, hasn't she done a good job, though, huh? Good. But we're going to come home with trillions and trillions of dollars in deals, and that's the way it is. But the King of Saudi Arabia, I met three great leaders. I went to three countries predominantly. King of Saudi Arabia said, and I can say that Qatar and UAE, the leaders, brilliant guys, great people, they said the same thing. They said, you know what, that 1 year ago, your country was dead. It was a dead country. They were looking at China, they were looking at other places, but you had a dead country. And today, Mr. President, you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. They said that, and they meant it so strongly. And when I went to NATO 2 weeks ago, where we made the deal where they pay 5% instead of 2%, they said the same exact thing. They said, boy, I tell you what a difference it is. It's a year ago, you people were dead. You didn't think you were going to make it as a country. Today, you're the hottest country in the world. They all said it, all those leaders said it, 30 of them. So today I'm signing another major executive order that will turn America into an AI export powerhouse. Under this order, Secretary Lutnick and Secretary Marco Rubio's doing a great job as Secretary of State, will work to rapidly expand American AI exports of all kinds, from chips to software to data storage of all kinds. And that's very important. That's going to give you the freedom to do what you want to do. And third, once and for all, we are getting rid of woke. Is that okay? Because I know you had to hire all woke people. I heard you had to hire all woke people under some of these things. How about the chips, where they give you the chip nonsense, where they give you billions of dollars if you only build a chip company? These people have plenty of money. They don't need the money. They need the permits. They need the rights to do it. They don't want to pay tariffs, so they come and they build here. That's why they're coming here. They like, number one, they like me, but they like not having to pay tariffs even more. and they're coming, but Biden gave billions of dollars to companies that have nothing but cash. And they don't say where to build, it's just give them money, but here's the problem.
40 million.
They have to hire lots of woke people. And they say woke isn't for this particular industry. We've noticed that. They're not for a lot of industries, if you want to know the truth. So the guidelines were impossible. They're going to give you money, but you got to hire this and this and this and that. And I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want any controversy today. But you have to hire a lot of people that were not into this particular world that you're in. And so therefore all the money they gave didn't mean a damn thing. One of Biden's worst executive orders established toxic diversity, equity, and inclusion ideology as a guiding principle of American AI development. So you immediately knew that was the end of your development. But the American people do not want woke Marxist lunacy in the AI models, and neither do other countries. They don't want it. They don't want anything to do with it. That's why on day one, I very proudly terminated Joe Biden's order on woke AI effective immediately. You don't have any of those crazy rules. Crazy rules. And in just a moment, I will be signing an order banning the federal government from procuring AI technology that has been infused with partisan bias or ideological agendas such as critical race theory, which is ridiculous. And from now on, the U.S. government will deal only with AI that pursues truth, fairness, and strict impartiality. We're not going to go through the craziness that we've gone through for the last 4 years. And then we skip 4, and then you go back, and it started then. But it hung around a little while. Now it's not hanging around at all. Now it's actually very uncool, as somebody told me the other day. It's so uncool to be woke. I encourage all American companies to join us in rejecting poisonous Marxism in our technology. It'll be very interesting to see what's happening in New York. Because they're actually thinking about electing a communist in New York. They like to call him a socialist. He's not a socialist, he's a communist. But don't worry, you're going to be okay. He still has to get his money from the White House, and that's not going to happen until he shapes up.
That's right.
But as an example,
Our country.
we are not going to allow men to play in women's sports. That's just an example. That's one. And they say that's an 80-20 number. They say 80% would be against it. No, it's not 80-20. It's about 97-3. And I don't know who the 3 are. I've never seen anybody. I've never had a person. I've seen everybody. I'm a very open person. They come up to me and they talk to me. I've never had anybody come up, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. I've never had it. I deal with hundreds and thousands of people. Every time I talk to somebody, they talk about AI, they talk about everything, but they've never said, you gotta allow, this is ridiculous. Men should be allowed to play in women's sports. It's sort of crazy, isn't it, huh? You have to see, did you see the race? It was a race, a long distance marathon, one of those all-day deals, and we had one of the great female runners, and we had one of the great male runners, and at the end of the day, he won the race by 5 hours and 14 seconds.
Unbelievable.
They waited around for the really good athlete female. It's very demeaning to women, I want to tell you that, but they waited, her parents were waiting for hours. Somebody said, why didn't you go back to the hotel and sleep for a few hours and come back and meet your daughter? This is what they do. You got to see the weightlifting records. Oh, they're the best of all. A woman lifted 212 pounds. It was a world record. It held for 18 years. And now a man who transitioned came up and looked at the bar. How much is it? 212 pounds. Oh, let me try it. Ring, bong. I think he broke the record by 109 pounds. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time before a woman catches that. And these are great athletes and great people, and it's demeaning. And who the hell wants this? We're off of that whole standard, because I just tell you those as examples. We're off of it. The reason the last administration was so eager to regulate and restrict AI was so they could limit this technology to just a few large companies, allowing them to centralize it, censor it, control it, weaponize it, and they would weaponize a very dishonest group of people. You probably saw that because we caught them in the act. We really caught them. We had it before, but now we really have them. We have it where it counts. But this is the exact opposite of my approach. The unique strength of the American tech industry has always come from its startups and small tech. It comes through small. Jensen was small. Were you ever small? I think so. When you started in your bedroom, I think you were small, right? He started as very small, and now he's really become very amazing. If you regulate them too much, you kill the source of American genius and technological power. I believe that Joe Biden had a plan to lose the AI race. I think he wanted to lose it because his plan would never have worked. It would have never been successful. And you would have spent a lot of money and you wouldn't have been able to win. They didn't allow you to win, but we have a plan which only admires and respects the winners. Every citizen should take incredible pride in the inspiring feats of American innovators who are pushing the bounds of human knowledge and achievement. The people of OpenAI, Google, Meta, and countless startups are proving once again that America is impossible. You are just impossible to beat. You're not going to be beaten. We're not going to let that happen. When you do your best, when you work your hardest, and when you're allowed to be free of horrible, foolish regulation. And you're going to have regulation, but it's going to be sensible, smart regulation. There's nobody who's going to beat you. As we push even further into this exciting frontier, let us never forget that all of this prosperity and progress has come from the culture of freedom and hard work, merit, ambition, and risk-taking passed down from one generation of Americans to the next. Silicon Valley rose to wealth, fame, and glory by exemplifying these values, and it will win this race not by rejecting them, but by embracing them like they have never been embraced before. We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI. We invented everything. Does anyone have anything else to say? And now we're going to take it to a new level. But Americans were the first to fly a plane, first to harness the atom, and first to plant our flag on the moon. We mastered the industrial age, we created the digital age, and now we are leading the world into the golden age, indeed, the golden age of America. With your help, that golden age will be built by American workers. It will be powered by American energy. It will be run on American technology, improved by American artificial intelligence, and it will make America richer, stronger, greater, freer, and more powerful than ever before. And I will now do my share by going and signing a name without an auto pen. I will sign it. If we had one, I wouldn't use it anyway, but we will sign it auto pen free, and we will say, Donald J. Trump, God bless America, and God bless you, and good luck, because the race has just begun, and you're going to win it. Thank you very much, everybody.
God bless America.
Thank you.
Mr. President, the first executive order that we've prepared for your signature today relates to federal permitting for data center infrastructure. As you mentioned during your speech, this is a crucial issue affecting the entire AI industry. What this executive order will do is establish fast-track permitting and ensure that the federal government is working to get data centers approved and through the permitting pipeline as quickly as possible. As you said before, sir, it's absolutely essential that American AI models and the American AI industry dominates the future of this industry around the world. What this next executive order will do is promote through various instrumentalities of the federal government the export abroad of American AI models to ensure American AI dominance in the future.
Okay.
And lastly, sir, as you said in your speech, we don't want woke AI. We want AI models based on accurate information that give accurate information and accurate answers. This executive order will ensure that when the federal government procures or promotes different AI models, that those AI models are ideologically neutral, that they don't embrace wokeism and critical race theory and all of these terrible theories that have done so much damage to our country.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
God bless America. We have a president and we are back. I am so thankful that President Trump, I really feel like we have gotten our country back. That I am proud to be American, and I'm serious. I don't think I have ever said that before in my life. But I like it when we're movers and shakers. I like a man that shows strength and stand on 10 toes down on issues, and we're not being bullied by the rest of the world like they were bullying Biden. He was an embarrassment. He wasn't strong enough, and neither was Kamala. They were weak, and then I'm so happy that this country, even though the Republican Party is not the loudest are the Democrat Party. I ought to know it because I'm that person to get out there and organize rallies. I'm an activist, I'm an advocate, I'm a legislative director. So we are loud and we get out there on the streets, boots on the ground. But the Republicans, they sit back and chill and they let their vote do the talking. And I'm so happy that we came together as one nation under God. This election was not won just by one ethnicity. It was won by all of us coming together. Black people, white people, Hispanic, Latinos, Asians, indigenous, vets, seniors, all of us. All of us came together and we saw what was happening to this country, that we were spiraling downhill at a fast pace. And if they had gotten into office, look at their behaviors even since Trump been in office, trying to overpower our law enforcement, trying to override our president, disrespecting our flag, burning our flag. You can't even burn the flag in Mexico without getting 6 months in jail and fined. But, it's just that entitlement went beyond what it should have been, that our Democrat leadership has prioritized the immigrants, illegal immigrants, over American citizens. They are prioritized. They do not have to follow our laws. They can get away with things that Americans, regardless of your race, you can't go and kick a cop in the head. You can't throw bricks and rocks regardless of your ethnicity. They will shoot you dead. So they get away no matter what they do. They are not required to follow the laws. But we're going to do a show later on, probably around 8:30, and I'm going to do a series of this because my anticipation by 2026 and 2028, that 93% of black people that voted for Kamala and Tampon Tim will never happen again. We are waking up as the black community, foundational black Americans, and we're getting off of the plantation. We don't need handouts. We can go to work. We're educated. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and God said we perish for lack of knowledge. So we need to go out there and get educated, apply for these jobs, put our hands, and utilize them, become plumbers, electricians, engineers, scientists, doctors. We're multimillionaires. We're billionaires. We have like the second highest, I think, paying group of people probably in the world are foundational Black Americans. So we have spending power. We spend over $1 trillion in this country a year. It was built off of slave labor, and that's why this country is as great as it is, because they had free labor. But now, what our ancestors have accomplished, all of us as Americans, we do benefit from it. So I thank God that Trump is teaching us to stand together as one nation. Be proud to be an American. America first. Any American that wants to, they want to shoot down America first. Something is wrong with that. I don't care how. I didn't even know my party was angry like this. I had no idea, being a Democrat, voting straight down ballot for Democrats. I didn't know that we were the mean kids on the block. I didn't know we were the mean ones. I didn't know that we were angry. I thought that the Republicans were the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacists, racists. I thought that was the Republicans.
Yeah, and to the Black community,
Yeah.
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and expecting a different result. You keep voting for the Democratic Party, expecting things to change for us as a community and us as a race, and you keep getting the same thing every time these guys are elected into office. It's time to realize that they're not trying to help you. They're not trying to put you first. They're putting illegals before you.
That's right.
What you need to do is to come to the Republican Party. And this channel, we're going to wake up as many Black people as we possibly can.
Yeah, because they might try to gain some voters through all of the illegal activities, but they're going to lose us in the process.
Yeah.
So you will never be able to have the voting block on lockdown, because they figure, we don't have to give the Black community anything. We don't have to promise them anything. Obama said that. He said, I'm not going to do anything for Black people. So did Kamala. He helped the LGBTQ. He's an LGBTQ president. He helped the Jewish people. He helped the indigenous people. And he did nothing for Black people. And that was our so-called Black president that was a 2-term president and never put us first. Never did one thing, not even an anti-hate crime bill that the illegals have. The illegals, you can't touch them. They have the anti-hate crime bill. They can literally attack cops and be catch and release.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like that in America.
Yeah, I was surprised recently when I looked up Obama and what he's done for the Black community, and I couldn't find anything that he's done. Not one thing.
Nothing. And that says a lot. And the reason why this continues is because we don't do our homework. We don't look at policy. We don't listen to the politicians. We're just, as a community, we just know we're supposed to vote Democrats. They have our best interests. No, they don't. They have gaslighted us. They have bamboozled us. They have lied to us while they have done nothing for us. They don't give a damn for us. We don't demand anything for them. But you know what's going to turn around? They're going to earn our vote. They're going to work for our vote. And that's for the betterment of the entire country.
Like Joe Biden said, you aren't Black if you don't vote for me. So they are now at the point where they're like, we don't have to do anything to vote.
Right.
We still expect you to vote for us. Because you're going to, because that's what you always do. They don't even have to give any or offer us anything. The community still is going to be voting for them. And that's what we're going to try to change.
And what's the excuse when they had the presidency, the Senate, and the House? They could have passed any laws. They could have made changes. And the reason why I supported them as hard as I have, and Canvas and Phone Bank, I'm a leader. I had my hundreds of people, thousands of people that I'm leading to go ahead and come to these rallies, vote for them. I'm a speaker, all of these things. Okay. And I had no idea that we were not part of the plan, as always. I thought, I really had believed finally after Obama's he was Obama's vice president. He's going to do what we've been asking for. Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
And gave the illegals our reparations.
Well, no
money.
problem. They
Yeah.
even carrying baskets in California because they don't want to can't go to work because they're illegally here. They're giving them reparations. We're going to give all of them cash payments. I think they said like 700,000 of them to stay at home, but they're $1 billion in debt.
And didn't you
This is the craziest. I mean, no Democrats. They need to lose California. They have destroyed California.
Yeah. And didn't you think they didn't have the money to give reparations to the
I
black
thought they
people?
didn't have the money.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to do it. No, they said we have the reparations money, but probably it was Obama. Obama probably came with a big bright idea because that's what's coming out. What Trump is talking about, how they plotted against them, that Russia collusion and all that kind of stuff. The laptop, it's so much going on that we might not never know because this is most definitely a house of cards. I think they need to make a movie about this. This needs to be a movie. All the collusion and all of the backhand dealings that are going on. You know, Obama, I was shocked to see how much his hands is involved in a lot of this negativity that was going on. He probably really was the president the last 4 years. Because I think it's someone over him. I said, I don't even think it's Obama. I said, I think it's like a group of people that's over him. Somebody's the puppet master. But Obama has more involvement than I think that I even realized that he might have had. But you know, they figured, they came up with the big bright idea. They said, we don't have to give black people anything. Look what we just did. 93% of black people with black women leading the way, boots on the ground, souls to the pole. She's a Delta, you know, and we just going HBCU down. Oh, Kamala, she black, no, she Indian. All that identity politics.
And
It's crazy.
He's saying that new, just completely outlandish thing that kids should have in their life.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that about every boy, not black boy,
Yeah,
boys, even with a father that's raising them properly, should have the rearing of a gay man. So he wants that perverted spirit to jump on children because he wants it to be he wants to make it a norm.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to make it like it's supposed to be normal to be with something that God considers abomination. That it's supposed to be normal for two men to be hugged up, or women. I mean, you could be what you want to be as an adult. Don't do that to the children.
And
Let them grow up and let them make a decision about their eternal life and their salvation, because that's what they tampering with.
And it's also against simple what God created
Yeah.
biology.
Well,
that the two genders shouldn't be with each other.
you don't have to tell a dog that.
Exactly.
Even animals that we're supposed to be the highest thinking being. You don't have to tell animals to get with the opposite sex. It's a normal thing to do. You don't have to, but people, like you always had, I think probably for thousands of years, homosexuality, but it went to another level now. Now it's going to a level that they want it to be a normacy.
Ever since Obama.
And it's not. Yeah, well, that's his agenda. He's even now, not even, former president, he's on the podcast with his wife and his brother-in-law, still trying to push the gay agenda, talking about how he had a gay professor and how he doesn't have any sons. But why don't he say that about his daughters? His daughters need to have been raised by lesbian women and stuff, and they should have became men. His daughters need to become, trans men. Since he's so down with it, let it happen in his household, and see if he has the same tune that Malia and Sasha now is Sam and Mike or something. This is ridiculous.
I would never raise a son to say something like that.
I mean, and then he's going to say, don't listen to the father, that gay man might tell him something enlightening about their father. Like they supposed to take over their children.
They didn't.
And even if the father's a good father, he's saying that let them let them critique the father.
Yeah.
insanity.
Did he say they
Huh?
could also exploit their sexuality too?
Yeah, he think it's great, but that's for him. Me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord, and we not down with that. And if anybody in our family is like that, we don't turn them over to the devil. We pray for them. That's when you're supposed to roll up your sleeves, get on your knees, and then you're supposed to pray for them. You don't just turn them over. You pray for those. If you love them, you pray for them. And you can accept them. They say, "Oh, well, we got to accept them how they are," or they no. Showing love is praying for them and telling them the truth about their lifestyle. Telling them
Romeo,
the truth.
this isn't negative energy. This is the truth, and the truth
Well,
that's
it's
coming
about
from God.
salvation. We care about their eternal life. We're not in bubble land. This stuff is real. The devil is real, and God is real. It's real. Demons are real. Lust spirits is real. Angels is real. All this stuff is real. And if you don't believe it, I promise that God is sitting on the throne. You will find out. But you have, as long as you're above ground, you have an opportunity to give your life to Christ. So it's deeper than children they're not into trying to have sex and all that. They're being influenced by mainstream media. They got their teachers trying to teach them to accept a lifestyle that goes against the word of God. That's why I'm glad they get that Trump by woke.
And
Get by.
and another
By.
thing, another thing is if you support the
Mhm.
Bible
Yeah.
and you're not for it, you get hated on and you get called names and they make it not what you should do. So people who are maybe not for it don't
Yeah.
speak out because you get hated on if you do.
But that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
They can speak out about what they believe in, and people are not as nasty and threatening and hateful and mean. They are some people who are being subjected to violation and became gay by some unfortunate incident, and that's more than likely what happened. They're not nasty and mean. They are great people, and we're not talking about that. But the people that when you don't agree with them, then you're supposed to be made to go along with something that you don't believe in, but you want us to believe what you are not.
Yeah.
But you don't want to believe what you are. It doesn't make any sense.
Like the guy
Yeah.
said, like we're being hateful. Like
No,
if you don't
no.
agree with it,
No,
then
well,
you're
that's a
hateful.
lie from hell.
Yeah.
That's a lie from hell. Nobody knows. You love them by praying for them. You love them by telling them the truth. You're never showing love when you don't tell people the truth. That's not love. It's not like go along to get along. It's to be honest that their salvation is in jeopardy. Someone did a super chat. Yeah, you want to speak to us? Y'all can super chat. We take chats from Democrats. People disagree with us.
Bob said, "Thank
Uh-huh.
you, Bob." He said, "I agree with everything you're saying."
God,
American flag.
God bless you. But I do want to tell you about our next live, and that's tonight. And we've really been wanting to do this for a while. We're going to do more of it because our goal is to wake up Black Americans. Wake up. They think they're trying to get the illegals, but they're going to lose us in the process. It's so many Black people that are waking up and seeing the okie doke, and we're moving away from the Roland Martins, the D.L. Hugleys, the fake wannabe Jamal Bryant, Dr. Martin Luther King, all these people who are lying to our communities. We're getting away from that. But the show that we're going to do, that we're looking forward to around 8:30 tonight, is the Black Voter Shift. Why more are walking away from the Democratic Party. That's what the show, why more of us are walking away, including myself. So I check both boxes. Walking away from the Democratic Party. Black voters are reevaluating loyalty to the Democrats, driven by unmet promises, shifting values, and new voices. Like, what's his name, Madani, socialists. We're not down with it, and we're going to show, and we're going to react to some of our Black brothers and sisters that are saying enough is enough. Trump has done more for our community than all the Democrats put together, I can tell you what they have done against us, what Biden has done with his 1994 crime bill, what Kamala has done to us, what all Clinton has done to us as a community, as a nation. They have destroyed us. They have destroyed this country. But anyway, we're happy that you guys have spent this time. And don't forget to become a member. We have one new member. Join our membership, become a special friend, because we want to do special videos with y'all that we could be more one-on-one, and we want to do, you know, fun things. So we got something new coming that y'all going to be able to shop for. It's a surprise. So we're getting that together. We have an Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe and like. I know I'm building still up the channel. Pray Till All Here. Yeah. That's my other new channel, Pray Till All Here. And that's going to be dealing with relationships, you know, and we're going to break it down into parts and all that. Relationships, marriages, stress, life, all, you know, I have a whole lot of different categories that I'm going to cover. Go ahead, Elijah.
Damon, there's more important things to talk about and to worry about in this country than a list that has nothing to do with you and that Trump is on. If Trump was on it,
Biden, the Democrats would have, they would have released, they would have released that before the election. I promise you. We all know that. But you know who's really on it? Hollywood party with Epstein. That's who partied with him. It was Hollywood. Political leaders did party with him, but mainly Hollywood and people around the world. See, and the thing about releasing it, they have to do it wisely, because there are people that that suffer through it, and their names are on it, and they have to do it a way that the victims are not victimized once again, because the public wants to see the list.
Her mom, Jack, would you want your daughter playing against a man who's pretending to be a female in a sport? Answer me that. You say that it's only 0.2% of female athletes. Would you want let's say your daughter was playing against
a man on there? Don't justify a man. You trying to act like let him play with dudes.
I'm trying to put it in his perspective.
No, but let him play with dudes.
Yeah.
We are women. Men and women have different builds. Our lung capacities are different. Our bone density is different. You know, men have stronger bones. They have bigger lungs. Men, did you hear Trump say that the cyclist broke the woman's record? He beat the first woman to cross the finish line by 5 hours. Do you understand the difference in 5 hours before the first woman crossed the finish line? And these are athletes. He demolished them. So we're not going to play that. Men are men and women are women. There's no in between. Since the beginning of time, God made man and woman. Man cannot create. Man can't change your sex. Man can't recreate you like Frankenstein. Remember them Frankenstein movies? They will never be able to take a woman and grow a penis on her. Never. They'll never take a man and be able to give him a vagina. They will never be able to do these things, because they're not God. Only God can do these things. And when you are born and give birth, the doctor is going to decide your gender at birth. If you have a penis and testicles, you are a boy. If you have a vagina, you are a girl. That's done at birth. So now we're living in a society, right is wrong and wrong is right. When people who are wrong, they want to fight you, jump up and down, turn around 20 times, stomp their feet, because they want you to go along with the okie doke.
Like, for example, do you know how long scientists have been trying to come up with the answer to death? Some things are just in God's control, and science will never be able to manipulate. Just like your gender, just like biology, just like physics, some things scientists will never be able to manipulate. Not Elon, not Bill Gates, not Mark Zuckerberg. Some things is just up to God.
Yeah, God allows us to live our lives the way we want to. He will not make you love him. He will not make you keep his commandments. He'll allow you to waddle in your sin. Enjoy it while you can. because I don't want to play with eternity, because our lives is just, it's a vapor. It's a vapor. If you're 100 years old, you are a baby. You are a baby at 100 years old. Compare that to eternity. Compare that to trillions of years in our time. Compare our little life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to be in darkness, to be outside of God, and to be burning in a lake of fire. You're going to feel pain. You're going to thirst, and you will never be able to drink water. You're going to have demons ripping your flesh out. I mean, read Revelation. I mean, it don't sound anything I want to gamble with. And all of us, every last one of us, we're going to have to answer to God for every word we've spoken, everything we have done. And I ask God, please forgive me of anything that I'm thinking and doing in Jesus' name. You know, so you need to ask God for forgiveness. That's more important than anything else, is giving your life to Christ. Is nothing trumps that. We could argue to the end of time about who's right, red or blue, but God is who's right, because we serve God. We put our trust in God. We don't put our trust in man. We do this because it's something we should do. It is something that God has called us to do. But that's why we're not going to be deterred and lie. But we don't accept moderators. Thank you guys, because y'all could say what y'all want to say. We want the communication, because we all need to talk, regardless of who you support. That's how we could come together as Americans.
Check. That just proves and shows that you're obsessed with politics. Why would God care about who we vote for? He said, what you gonna do when God asked you why you vote for Trump?
What you gonna say why you vote for Biden? What you gonna say why you voted for Biden? What are you gonna say about that?
Well, gossip,
what he has done. I mean, but they throw this stuff out like Trump. They had me thinking Trump was the boogeyman. They got saying it was Hitler. They did so much to this man. But guess what? If you really do your research, they used to love Trump before he got into politics. All the Democrats, from Oprah to all of them loved Trump until he ran for political office. So all those, you know who gave Schumer, the Democratic, well, he used to be the majority leader, Schumer, his first donation? When he got into politics, that was Trump. You know who donated to Kamala's run for office when she was in California? That was Trump. They used to, all of them that's hating on him now, they used to love that man, okay? But see, that's what happens when you're no longer a Democrat. That's then they want to attack you. And I didn't know that was the Democratic Party way. I thought that was the Republican way.
I wonder what's going to be their new talking point. I just saw a comment again about it. What's going to be their new talking point after the list gets released?
But that's what I've been saying each live. I said I'll be glad when it's released, because what you going to talk about then? What's going to be your talking point then? What's going to happen when you see those people that you're not looking to be on the list that's from the Democratic Party? Epstein was Hollywood. The people that's going to be on they probably Diddy 2.0. I don't know. He gonna be on, a lot of people gonna be on the list that you're not looking, and you think it's more pointing towards Trump. But if they had anything on him, it would have been revealed. I think that all the people that think that are mistaken, but they are trying to protect the victims. They're trying to protect the victims. Well, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Turn it on, you guys, so you'll be notified, because we're going to be uploading videos, not just doing live. So we want you guys to find our content, because we got so many different things we're working on right now to elevate our show, Speak the Truth 2.0. And I think we're the only mother and son, black mother and son, that's doing any type of podcast. So
you're talking about the list
we're good.
You're talking about the list as if Biden isn't on it, as if Obama isn't on it. It's not just Trump who potentially could be on it. They all could potentially be on it.
That's right. What did they say?
Stefan Salinas said, I'm so proud of you. You remind me of my own mom.
Oh, thank
Woke
you.
used to mean what you preach now. The Dems co-opted. Your eyes are open. Please continue to spread this.
Thank you so much. God bless you. And we welcome everyone. And the way you can support us, you guys, is join our membership, give us likes, so go out to the algorithm. We appreciate enjoying our content, enjoy our shows. And what people don't understand, like when they see the titles, they don't know that we have a lot of nuggets in our shows. So we talk about a lot of things, but the titles don't really reflect. So we're going to have to start clipping some of our videos so people know the content that is in it. Because after I say things, I hear other people like months later or a month later or 2 days later, then they're saying exactly what I've said on this show. So anyway, you guys stay blessed. We're going to jump off because we're going to be back on here at 8:30. And don't forget to join us and hit the like, share, and subscribe. And watch the video that we already put up with Press Secretary Caroline Levitt and D&I Tulsi.
Romeo, I can use your same logic, so who cares if Trump is on the list?
Yeah, if he was on it, that would have been exposed.
Yeah. They're saying who cares if Biden's on the list now?
Okay, Biden is Trump is like he care about them.
Biden just crying.
He probably on there. Don't be surprised. But anyway, let's pray about. We're going to talk about stress, depression, anxiety, loneliness, spouses, relationships, fear, new beginnings, salvation, church, love, time, Christians, life, faith, healing, joy, peace, friends, people, family, rejection, forgiveness, lack, brokenness, pain, blessings, abundance, and happiness. But we're going to be breaking it down in different categories. And, these are some of the things that we're going to talk about because everybody goes through something. None of us are exempt from life. So, but you need to know how to pray and how to go to God. And God is still sitting on the throne. And I'm just glad we got a daddy, boy, a real dad. So anyway, you guys, we got to hop off and get ready for the next show. Join us for that show. We're looking forward to it. I know you're still reading, Elijah.
Lydia said,
The show we're going to do is the Black Voters Shift, Why More Are Walking Away from the Democratic Party. That's the show we're going to be doing. That's the title.
Jack, did you see the economy when Biden was president? You're saying Doge is wasting more money. Did you see this?
Finding money is not wasting more money. $9 billion wasteful spending is not. I don't understand how you're not comprehending that.
Leon, dude, I haven't seen any of your comments. You're saying we're getting out because we don't want to respond to people, but...
Oh, you know what? Come back. We're coming back on at 8:30. Just come back on. But we're going to take a break right now. This is our second live, and we're going to take a break, and we're coming back on at 8:30. Hit the notification bell so when we come back on, even if we run a few minutes late, that you'll be notified when we go live. So that's why we're telling people to hit the notification bell and come back and join us. We're just going to take a break it's almost 7, for maybe like an hour and a half, and we'll be back on. And you can give us your questions then. Moderators, thank you as always, y'all. We need y'all. Y'all know what's happening in our chest. Thank you so much for doing a great job. We appreciate all of you. Chevy, thank you. I don't know if you're still on, but I say that's totally like Chevy's on. So anyway, I don't know what happened with the debate, and we will probably start debating people as well.
Leon, do the whole stream we engage with the audience. What about the other creators that don't reply to anyone unless they super chat them?
Yeah,
we
they don't
reply to
reply
people
at all.
for free.
And talk to people
Yeah.
all the time.
The whole stream.
Okay, you guys, but come back on. God bless you.
God bless you guys.
God, thank you. Who's on there? Read some of the moderators. Thank them. Right now, I don't want to be up on the screen.
Thank you,
Okay.
Ozzy.
Oh, Ozzy got him on. Okay. I know Chevy was on. The Mr. Buki.
Thank
Is he
you,
doing-
Chevy. Probably missed.
Yeah, we'll be looking for some more moderators. So you guys that frequently come on, let us know because We do stream a lot, and we're gonna look for more
Oh,
moderators.
Deborah said love y'all. Love you too.
Love you. God bless you guys. Come
God
back.
bless.
We'll be back at 8:30. Thank you. Bye.